How was everybody doing this morning? This is L.A.Kendrick with another tale from the vault of Would You Dare. And what I want to talk about today is the incident that happened. Well, it happened, I think, in 2021, but it was over a military base in California. And I'm going to let the video do some of the, do most of the talking, right? And then I'll come in with my commentary later at the end. But this is strange. It's a good one. So, you know, with that being said, make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe to what we're doing here. Okay, this is just with a grain of salt, speculating to the possibilities of the what ifs. You know, it's not something, you know, it's arbitrarily. We can talk about it here and just, you know, just have a good conversation, a good wholesome conversation. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let the video speak for itself. And as usual, the party don't start till you walk in. And now that you're here, let's begin, all right? Get this thing queued up. I was looking for the laptop, but it seems like this place doesn't have any Wi-Fi, so I'm gonna do the laptop thing, but here we go.
We're going to talk about UFOs because it is my hope that in the near future we figure out whatever the heck has been going on in our skies. And if you follow a lot of the UFO incidents involving the U.S. military, you might have seen a lot of people talking about several videos of what looks like a triangle seeming to hover over a base out of 29 Palms here in California. This was all released in the last day by documentary filmmaker Jeremy Corbell. Take a quick listen.
Those are not aluminum rounds because aluminum rounds fall. And
those are the lights.
And nobody shoots in a 5-gun section. There's more lights around it.
No, this is fucking weird.
We got UFOs outside.
Now, Jeremy Corbell and the co-host of the podcast Weaponized, George Knapp, say they have been looking into this since 2021. There's another image right there. He says, according to reports from witnesses, the whole thing only lasted about 10 minutes, from 8:20 when it appeared to 8:30 when it blinked out. According to Corbell, it was seen by more than 50 people, many of them Marines at Camp Wilson, who captured those images, but they just couldn't explain what they saw.
If you look in the picture, you can see like a black triangular shape.
Why are these not flares?
Because they stayed there for a solid 10 minutes, just in the same spot.
And flares don't sit in one spot for 10 minutes?
Make sure it's more steady. I apologize for the shakiness.
And Jeremy Corbell himself joins us right now in the studio. So Jeremy, real quick, set the scene for us here.
Yeah, so this happened back in 2021, and I thought it was flares at first. A bunch of Marines started coming to me. I was able to find them within 36 hours. They saw a craft, so this is not something lights in the sky. They actually saw the body, the shape of the craft, and you see that in the low light photo. So they basically said, you know, what's going on, what is this? And I was worried about the reporting process. We dug into it for a number of years. Luckily, they shot up lumen flares, so you can see the difference of what a lumen flare is. And most flares, they last within 1 minute to 3 minutes max.
So yeah.
This object, or I'll say craft because you can see the body of it, sat there from 10, some reports say up to 25 minutes unmoving. So this is why I thought it was important, bringing it out to the public, trying to crowdsource and figure out this UAP. It's just an unidentified. The point is we're trying to identify.
And we're trying to identify something that happened over a military base with a lot of military service members all around. We reached out to the Pentagon. I know the Marine that you spoke to said that they ruled out flares, but the Pentagon tells us that there was an airspace tactics and instructor course happening around the same time, and there's video of that training. I think we have some of that video that has been declassified. You can see choppers through night vision. You can see tracer fire. You can see flares. And then right at the end, there are a couple of seconds showing something it's kind of in a similar shape to that triangle. Do you think that could be the same thing? Some of this exercise that you're seeing right here,
those look like flares
appear to be flares, kind of in a triangle shape. Do you think that could be what these Marines saw?
Yeah, so that's the question is, were these flares? The problem is the duration, and all of the witnesses that saw the body of a triangular shaped craft. So initially that was my thought, but over these years and working with people, they saw the craft itself, the body of it, and that's what you see in that low light video. Now, I don't know, it's a huge base. It's almost 1,000 miles wide. So showing me a video, we need to know if it identically matches up to the time. Look, I'm trying to solve the case too, but I can't discount the Marines that are telling me they saw the craft.
One of the interesting things about this case is, so that is declassified video that we're seeing right now of the training exercise. The Pentagon says that they had no report of UAP activity, and there is a procedure now for UAPs to be reported all the way up to the Pentagon. They're saying that there were no reports given. Is that what you're hearing from the Marines? Did they ever try to file a report with the government?
Yes, and that was the problem. We weren't getting information. Now, we've seen that over and over and over. Remember, the 2004 Tic Tac event, that UFO event was during a training exercise. The 2019 UAPs were during a training exercise. There's always training going on there at that base. So that's what we're trying to get, is better transparency to move that information up, and better reporting process. People should not have to be calling journalists. They should be reporting it through the normal chain of command, but that is not happening.
Now, one other question. I mean, as soon as you posted that, everyone was talking about the Phoenix Lights, like one of the most well-documented UFO mass sightings there's been. What did you think when you saw this? Did you think Phoenix Lights as well?
Well, when you see that 5-section of lights, that shows that it appears to be very similar visually to the Phoenix Lights, but the size was about half the size of a football field when they could see the body of the craft. And that's what just keeps coming back at me. I want to know the truth too. I want to see proper reporting, but that connection between an object in the sky with the Phoenix Lights is because of the body of the craft. You can see it in the low light photo.
I don't know if you can get that image.
You can see it, and that's what the witnesses tell me.
That
so
glare.
I don't know, man. This is an unidentified. That's UAP. When you're reporting this stuff, you just got to try to figure out what it is. And I think the next number of days is really going to highlight how these types of investigations work.
So you can't say what it is, but you can't say what it isn't.
It is unidentified. That is a UAP. But let's find out together. That's why we put it out, asking the public and anybody else that was there to help fill in the voids.
Jeremy Corbell.
Hey, man, great to see you. Thank you.
See you too. Thanks.
All right, so there you have it, right? This is, to me, this is when it's not even complicated, because again, I know what flares look like. I've been in the military, so I know what flares look like, and they don't look like flares. That doesn't look like flares to me. And initially, I did think Phoenix Lights, right? But if you ever notice these, they're all the supposed UFOs are always over, a lot of times, over military bases. Maybe they're trying to assess the strength of what the planet can do. Maybe that's what they're trying to do, because there's been numerous reports of them over nuclear bases. They do all kinds of things. And you know, our nuclear weapons are the most powerful weapons that we have in our arsenal here on Earth. Well, that we know of, that we currently know of. There's probably some stuff out there. You know, the government never shares everything, so there's probably stuff that we have that's better than that. Given the Star Wars thing when Reagan was in office, and then given the the space defense thing that they're having with that they have currently now. So I can't think of the name of that, but it's supposed to be up there right now, and they're supposed to be protecting the planet or preparing for some kind of invasion that they said didn't exist, as far as the program not existing, but then having to realize and openly admit that the public wasn't going to stand for it. Now they have to tell the public, yeah, this is what's really going on. This is what's happening, right? So, again, I know what flares look like, and some of the images, there were flares, because you can see the smoke trails from the lights, right? But then you have those pictures, you have those images, those still shots where you have the triangulation form within those 5 lights. And, you know, flares don't last long. They don't last 10 minutes. I'd say the ones that I saw that we used, when I saw them, they were like maybe 3 or 4 minutes maybe, and then they would descend. And they didn't descend in unison. They would descend, you know, whichever one did it, it it didn't even matter which one was up there the longest. It just meant, I guess it just mattered on which burned out the quickest, and that would be the one that would descend the quickest and fall down. So you have all of this, you have all this information, and you know, I hate it when they try to say this is just a flare, or this is just this, or this is just that. But to the contrary, they didn't in this report, even the military, didn't necessarily say that this was flares. They're just saying they don't know what it was. We've been having a lot of strange stuff in the skies as far as we were shooting stuff down a couple of months ago, saying Chinese weather balloons and all these other things, right? And now we keep getting instances of stuff like this happening. Well, my grammar is terrible this morning. Okay, but you guys, I tell you, it's a big world out there, and an even larger universe, and it's full of weird and strange things that go on all the time. So, you know, keep an open mind when it comes to stuff like this, man. And because you never really know what's being kept from you or what's right in front of your eyes, and you'll be determined to say, oh no, that's not what this or that is. I'm not saying that everything is a U.F.O. or an alien or anything like that. I'm just saying open mind, grain of salt, process it, and always speculate like you did when you were a child, man. It's okay to keep your imagination because I think it's always good to have a healthy imagination, whether you're an adult or a child. And we need to get to the bottom of this, and I'm gonna keep my ear to the ground. Again, I just came across the story, and I was like, let me go ahead and share this really quick. And you guys remember to get my new book, The Foes of God. I am a published writer, an author of sci-fi, comic books, children's novel, etc., etc. And I appreciate you guys stopping in and checking out the work that I'm doing today. And with that being said, we're gonna close this bad boy out, all right? Make sure you check your dark homes. Check the closets of your home. Check all the dark recesses of your home. If you happen to work late at night or way into the wee hours of the morning when light and visibility is low, make sure you check on the outside of your car. Make sure you check on the inside of your car. Check around your vehicle. And be mindfully aware of what's going on around you outside, okay? And keep your head up, because you never know what's lurking in the sky, waiting to make you a story. And this has been L.A.Kendrick with another tale from the vault of Would You Dare? And as we always say, you guys be safe. And until next time, fill in the rest.